online and in the room. This is Earl Purdy, and I want to welcome you to a Course in Miracles. It's a miracle if we love each other sometimes. It's a miracle if we see things correctly sometimes. It's a miracle if we forgive sometimes. It's a miracle if we treat ourselves the way we deserve to be treated. The Course calls that a miracle because there's so many things to keep us from doing that or thinking that we can do that or want to do that. So we're going to be talking about that today. We're going to be talking about how we can change our perception of anything that we're going through so that we can have more peace, so that we can have more joy. And I'm going to be working with the workbook lessons, and I'm going to be working with the review, and there's some books over there too. I'm going to be working on the review, and we had started lesson 51, which is on page 82 in the workbook. Page 82 in the Course in Miracles workbook, and there's some extra Course in Miracles books over here too. So if there's any area of your life right now that you know you like to see it differently and you like to give yourself more peace, this is what we're going to be doing. This is what we're going to be doing today. This is what we're going to be doing today. And I'm going to give you the guidelines to the course. Because I promise you, after 45 years of studying the course, I promise you that the course will go a lot easier if you remember how it tells you to study it, the best way for you to study it. And so if you're here for the first time, and watching for the first time, because most of the people I'm reaching right now online, and getting some juicy ones in my presence, we want to keep in mind these things if you want to make your journey through the course really easy. First of all, you don't have to believe anything that you're going to hear me say today. You don't have to believe anything that I'm going to say today. You need not believe anything that I'm about to say from the Course in Miracles today. The Course in Miracles says you don't have to accept any of the ideas that you are going to hear today. That you don't have to believe it, you don't have to accept it. Now, you don't have what? You don't have to believe it, you don't have to accept it. Then it says to even admit to yourself that you don't even have to welcome the ideas. I might say some stuff that you don't even have to welcome the ideas. Whenever I'm having a hard time with the Course in Miracles, I always remember that it's because I am not remembering the instructions. I used to think I was having a tough time with the Course because maybe I didn't understand some concept it was trying to get to me. But now I'm absolutely certain that when I say I don't understand the Course and I'm frustrated with it, then I'm not obeying these rules. That for some reason you're thinking you need to believe something you're not ready to believe, or you think, you got to accept something you think somebody's asking you to accept something you don't want to accept, or you feel like you should feel really enthusiastic and happy about every idea. So I think I have to welcome these ideas. And then the Course says, well, no, you don't have to welcome these ideas. As a matter of fact, some of these ideas you may actively resist. 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 Have you ever studied anything in the Course in Miracles or read anything in the Course in Miracles that ever generated resistance in you? Did you have some resistance come up? Mm-hmm. Okay. I want you to hold on to those ideas. I got something I want to do with them today. Okay. Some of the ideas you will find hard to believe. So some of the things that I say, like suppose I was to say to you, you are not your body. That you are not a body. That you are not the body that's sitting in the chair talking to me or looking at me right now. You are not a body. But if I'm not a body, then I'm also not a man or a woman or any of the concepts that I have that goes with being a body. So if I'm not a body, if I'm not this that seems to be talking to you, what am I? And the Course says stuff like that. If you're not a body, what are you? If you're not a woman or a man, however you identify, then what are you? Because all of those identifications are going to be around the idea that you're a body, that you're this separate body, that you're this gender, that you, it says everything the Course teaches, everything we do is about the body. To feed it, house it, clothe it, that you can't, it says, you can't even come up with a guilt about anything that I can't eventually go back to. Is somehow that guilt is coming from you thinking you're a body and you thinking that you're separate. So that's what I mean when I say some things you hear may be hard to believe, or some things I say from the Course might be startling. Here's another one. If you really want to zip through the Course a lot faster, but still comprehend what it's saying, is you are not asked to judge the ideas at all. So it's the same as saying, we're not asking you to judge the ideas. We're not asking you to analyze the ideas. I'm not asking you to analyze that. You know, some of the stuff you may find hard to believe, some of the stuff is going to startle you, but I'm not asking you to judge the ideas. So then the mind goes, if I don't judge the ideas, how will I know if they're true? If I don't judge the ideas, how will I know if they're true, right? So the Course says, I'm going to give you the answer to that. Okay, would you like to know how you can always prove that the Course in Miracles is true?
Yes, please. I'd like to know.
Use the ideas. It says if you use the ideas, then the ideas will show you that they're true. If you use the ideas, and then it also says, no matter what your response to the ideas, use the ideas. No matter how you're reacting, like I just gave you all these reactions, and the Course is saying, well, guess what? No matter how you're responding to what I'm saying today, use it. No matter whether you respond with confusion, excitement, devotion, openness, resistance. The Course has said that the way that you learn how to have peace all the time is to get rid of everything that keeps you from feeling that way. Well, then that means that I got to get rid of most of the people I know. That's what some people gonna go. You know, if I got to get rid of something before I can have the peace I want, yeah, you said I got to get rid of my husband, my boyfriend, my girlfriend, my maid, my job, because I'm not having peace on those things. So are you saying that the way for me to have peace is to get rid of everything that doesn't cause me peace? And he goes, yeah. But what's causing me not to have peace is I'm not using these ideas. What? If you don't have peace right now, prosperity in your perception, love in your perception, freedom in your perception, then it just means you're not using the truth. You're not using the truth yet. You're not using the truth yet. You see, if I think I'm doing everything and not getting the result, then that's the alarming. I'm doing this, but I'm not getting the results, alarming. But if I recognize I'm not getting the results, but I'm not doing it, then that still gives me the door of the truth that I can go to get out this situation. So that means if you don't have peace about something right now, I'm going to give you the ideas that you need to give yourself if you want to have peace. And you don't have to believe it, don't have to accept it, don't have to welcome it, can resist it, can find it hard to believe, can experience it as quite startling. You're not being asked to judge it at all, use it. Why am I saying this? Because we're getting ready to go deep. We are reviewing, we're up to, I do not understand anything I see. The first one is the first idea is nothing I see means anything. Why is it that nothing I see means anything? because I've given it what I see, all the meaning that it has for me. So nothing you see means anything. Is it true then that nothing you see means anything until you give it a meaning? Is it true that you're the one that's giving the meaning to everything you see?
Yes.
Okay. That's why nothing you see means anything, because it doesn't mean anything until you give it a meaning. Nothing you see means anything until you give it a meaning. That's why your kids mean so much to you and don't mean nothing to somebody else. Okay? Because you're the one that's giving all the meaning. Then it gets to number 3, and it says, what? I do not understand. So, what? Anything I see. I'm going to do something deadly today. It's going to wake you up. It's going to knock you out cold. Okay? What I really want to do is really hear it. Right? So, I'll say it again. Are you seeing right now? Are you seeing right now? Right now. Okay. You and I, we don't understand anything we're seeing right now. You don't understand anything you're seeing right now. You don't understand anything you're seeing right now. And then, why is it that you don't understand anything you see right now? It says, I'm going to tell you why. You don't know it, but the reason why you don't really understand what's going on in your relationship, the reason why you really don't understand what's going on with your body right now and your health, the reason why you don't know what's going on with your financial situation or what's going on your job, he says, it's because you do not understand what's happening there. You don't understand. So if you're in a situation of conflict and fear and you want to get out of it, the first thing you need to tell yourself is, I don't understand what's going on here. I don't understand what's going on in this relationship. I don't understand what's going on between me and you. I do not understand anything I see. That includes you. So I don't understand you. I don't understand you. Why? Because I'm judging wrong. He says, because I'm judging amiss. The reason why you don't understand anything you see is because, the course is saying, it's because you're not seeing anything correctly. So what do I want to do to get to peace right now? I'm going to say, I don't understand you all because I'm not seeing you all correctly. I don't understand you all. I don't understand y'all. I don't understand y'all. I'm going to talk south. So I do not understand you. I do not understand you. I do not understand you. I do not understand the situation that I'm in right now. Do you have a situation that you're in? Do you have a situation right now in your experience, a relationship or a situation that you would like to have some fulfillment and some peace and some happiness? Do you?
Yes.
Okay, then what we should do, first of all, in that situation, tell yourself, I do not understand this. Okay, so I'm trying to remember that. I need people in my life that will help me understand this and to remember this, because the world that I'm in doesn't tell me this. So I need companions on the path so we can help each other remember the truth. So if you're in a situation or you have a friend that's in a situation and they're going through something, you should tell them in your mind, not necessarily verbally, but tell them, well, my sister's dealing with a situation that she doesn't understand, that she doesn't know what's going on. What the person that's upset is the person who doesn't know what's going on. The person that's upset is the person who has the most incorrect perception. The person that's the most hurt is the person that has the most incorrect perception. Whoever is feeling the most pain is the one who has the most incorrect perception of that person or that situation. Whoever is upset is the one who is seeing incorrectly So wouldn't it make sense that if you're seeing incorrectly, then it means you don't understand what you're seeing? If you're seeing me as Mickey Mouse, then you're seeing incorrectly. So you really don't understand what you're looking at. If you think I'm Mickey Mouse, you really don't understand what you're looking at. So whenever the Course says I do not understand what I'm looking at, the Course says you don't understand what you're looking at because you're not looking at it correctly.
Yeah, is that on 3? Have you moved on?
Yeah, I'm on 3.
Because I don't see where it says, I just read it all, where it says, look at the other person, which one has the...
No, that's me. That's me taking what it's saying and then using a practical example.
Okay.
Like, for instance, let's go back, okay? He says, I don't understand anything I see. Then what's the next sentence? How could I understand what I see when I have judged it amiss? So what is it saying? It's saying that how can you understand something that you're not seeing correctly? Then the Course says, well, then you go, well, what is it that I'm seeing? And so the Course says, well, let me tell you what you're seeing in case you want to know what the thing that's incorrect is. Let me tell you what that is. What you are seeing is your own thoughts being projected. All you're looking at is your own beliefs, your own thoughts. That's all you're seeing. What is your own beliefs, your own thoughts being projected? Just like a movie projector projecting a film on the screen. That's what the Course says, basically. I say that again. What you are seeing is your own projections. You're seeing your own thoughts being projected outward. That's all people see all day, is their own thoughts. So, notice that the Course says that you're just seeing your thoughts, but it's the sentence right after saying, how can I understand what I see when I have judged and missed? So so the Course says, do you want to know what the wrong thoughts are? They're your thoughts. It's really kind of funny when you think about it. And then it goes, what you're seeing, the reason why you don't that's true though. If you don't understand that all you're seeing is your own thoughts, then you're certainly not seeing anything correctly. If you think you're seeing anything other than your own thoughts, then you're not seeing correctly. We need to hear it, but we don't have to believe it. We don't have to believe it, accept it. We don't have to welcome it. We can resist it. We can find it hard to believe. It can make us feel startled because we've already said, you don't have to believe this. You don't have to believe this. You don't have to, and if you hear me and you hear, you don't have to believe this and you really let it in, it's going to relax you. Because you're going to find a lot of the tension is coming from, I need to believe this. I need to understand this. This is my reaction to it. Right? But then the Course in Miracles is saying to us, the only thing you're seeing is your own projections of your own thinking errors. I'm just seeing my own thinking mistakes. When I'm upset, that's what I'm looking at. Then it says, I do not understand what I see. Then the Course in Miracles tells you why. It said, because what you see is not understandable. Stop trying to understand what you're looking at because you can't understand what you're looking at. Stop trying to understand what you're looking at because it's not understandable. So I know you're trying to understand everything all the time. Why don't you give yourself a break? It's not understandable. You will not understand everything. You will not understand everything. The Course is why? Because we need to recognize there's no sense in trying to understand it. It's not understandable, and there's no sense in trying to understand it. How can I understand what I see when I have judged incorrectly? How can I understand what I'm looking at when I've judged what I'm looking at incorrectly? What I'm looking at is the projection of my own errors. I'm just looking at the projection of my own fears. I'm looking at the projection of my own guilt. I'm looking at the projection of my own freedom. I'm looking at the projection of my own peace. The only thing I'm looking at all the time is nothing but the projection of my own thinking. You're always looking at your 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 own thinking. And the Course says not only are you looking at your own thinking, you're looking at your thinking mistakes. The only thing that you're looking at are your thinking mistakes, so you don't really understand what's going on. So tell yourself, I don't understand what's going on. I do not understand what's going on. I do not understand what I see because what I see is not understandable. I do not understand what I see because it's not understandable. So if you want to have peace, what would you tell yourself next? There is no sense in trying to understand it. So this is what you say to another person that you're not seeing correctly. There is no sense in trying to understand you. There's no sense in trying to understand you because you're not understandable. And all I'm seeing right now is my own projection of errors looking at you right now. So since I'm just looking at my own errors, that means I don't understand who you are. I don't really understand you. If I'm looking at my own errors, I don't understand who you are. I don't understand what I am. So if you're in a relationship and you're trying to get back to peace with the other person, you all would get to peace faster if you recognize if you're upset. If you recognize that means you're judging incorrectly. If you're upset, you're judging something incorrectly. There's something you're not seeing correctly. And so what you're looking at are your own projection of ego. You're looking at the projection of your own ego. In other words, all I see is my own ego everywhere I look. When I'm walking down the street, wherever I'm seeing separate people, separate bodies, and separate things, then I know I'm just looking at the ego. The ego is the part of us that thinks we're separate from each other. The part of us that thinks we're human. The part of us that thinks we're a body is called the ego. The part of us that think that we are fearful is the ego. So the Course is trying to tell us the only thing you experience is love or fear. That everybody's either experiencing love right now or they're experiencing some form of fear right now. We either experiencing some form of love right now or you're experiencing some form of fear right now. Is anger or fear? Yes. Is guilt or fear? Yes. Is lack of fear? Yes. Sickness is a fear. So everything we're looking at is a projection of our own ego. It's a projection of my own errors of thought. So what I've noticed after 45 years of working with this is now when I look out and I see something to judge or criticize about another person, what happens is it immediately triggers me that that's a quality of my own ego and that's something I need to correct in my own self and in my own perception. So I end up 99% of the time not saying anything to the other person at all. The deeper I go into the Course, the more I realize that I don't really need to interact with you in order to forgive you and in order for me to heal my relationship with you. I don't need your cooperation. What? Right. I don't need your cooperation. If I want to forgive my ex, I don't need her to forgive me. I don't need her to forgive me, but she can't stop me from forgiving her. Right? So in my mind, all I want for her is peace. All I want for her is joy. So as far as I'm concerned, we square. We cool. Now, if that person decides to feel that same way about me one day, then I'm grateful and I will meet them right there. Right? But I don't have to wait on you for me to go to heaven, happiness, and love, because if I did, that wouldn't be fair to make my progress depending on whether or not you feel like saving yourself or giving yourself any kind of peace. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah. Sometimes you're ready to move and the other person isn't ready to move. Well, that's okay. But what you must do is to recognize that if you win, everybody wins. So the sooner that you get to the destination, the more it's going to benefit all of us. The Course in Miracles says we are one. And since we are one, then that means what goes into part of us goes into all of us. If we're joined right now, if we're one right now, then there's not a thought that's going into me that's not going into you. if we are really one with each other. Just be so quick to go, we are one. Okay, if I really am you and you really are me, then there's nothing that I could think that you wouldn't also have in your mind also, because we are one man. So, when you keep moving forward on your spiritual path and not letting yourself be distracted and delayed by a special relationship, because the special relationship is the main way we keep ourselves miserable and away from God, according to the Course. That is the main way we punish ourselves for not thinking we're enough, or having insecurity or fears. So we need a special relationship so that we can join with somebody to suffer with. It's really funny when you think about it. It's like, I just don't want to suffer by myself. So I want to take you out.
Is that also why we create like illness or sickness or situations in our lives?
Is what?
Is to keep that separation.
Oh yeah. Well, here's a classic example. If I'm sick and I got a headache or a stomach ache, and I'm the only one feeling it, and it doesn't seem like nobody else is feeling it, then that's proof that you and me must be separate from each other. Because if we were the same, you should feel the stomach ache that I'm feeling. So we use sickness and pain and suffering as a way to prove that we're separate from each other. So to stay separate from each other, you have to keep some kind of fear or conflict going all the time. Because if you don't have fear and conflict going all the time, you're going to join. There's no reason for me not to join with you if we're not in conflict. So those of us who want to be separate, we maintain the separation by forming relationships with people that we suffer together and sometimes go to a movie. And go on trips and go around, which is great. But the Course is telling us that what we're looking at is the projection of our own errors of thought. I do not understand what I see because it's not understandable. But the good news, what does the next sentence say? There is no sense in trying to understand it. What is it? What you see that's coming from your own ego, your own projections of your own mistakes. What do? Stop trying to understand craziness. Stop trying to understand crazy people. Stop trying to understand crazy stuff. There's no sense in trying to understand it. Well then, okay, if I'm not supposed to understand it, what am I supposed to do with it? Well, the Course says what you're supposed to do with it is let it go. What? Let the projections of your own errors go. Let it go. Let your projection go. Let your projection go. So what would make me want to let go of my mistakes? What would make a person want to let go of their mistakes? What would make a person really want to let go of their mistakes?
To understand they're wrong. They're just a mistake in the first place.
And
That I don't understand it.
And that's right. And that's what I love about this. There's so many perspectives of the truth. He says, and the reason why I want to let go of the mistakes that I make, the reason why I want to let go of my grievances and my crazy way of thinking is because I want to make room. I want to get rid of all my negative thoughts because I want to make room for my positive thoughts. I want to get rid of all my fearful thoughts to make some room. I need to make some room. If your mind is full of fear and anxiety and worry, then you need to make some room. You need to make some room in your mind. And he says, well, how do you do that? To stop trying to understand the way you see things that's making you feel bad. Stop trying to understand the way you see things because it's not understandable, because it's all coming from a perception that's wrong. And the wrong perception is any perception that would make you think you deserve to suffer for any reason. A wrong perception is any perception that would make you think you weren't loved and lovable and important. Anything you tell yourself other than you're valuable, anything that you tell yourself other than that you're priceless, then you are a person who does not understand themselves. So when you say, I don't understand myself, that's the same as saying, I've forgotten that I'm only love. I've forgotten that I'm nothing but love. And how do I know I don't understand myself? I don't understand myself because I'm criticizing myself, judging myself, getting upset with myself, feeling depressed, So that lets me know I don't understand myself. So if you're going through a depression or an upset right now, what you want to do is tell yourself, I don't understand myself. I do not understand myself. I do not understand. You might already be saying it, but now you know a good reason to say it. I do not understand myself. What do you mean? I'm not looking at myself correctly. Well, what are you looking at? I'm looking at my own thinking being projected out in front of me. What do I do with that? Don't try to understand it. Whatever you do, don't try to understand it. Well, what should I do? I want you to work on making room. I want you to work on making room for what you really can see, really can understand, and really can love. I want to hear that. Okay, so what are you making room for if you're willing to say, I'm just looking at my own thoughts, I'm just looking at my own errors, I'm just looking at my own errors? What's going to make me want to give up the way that I look at things that I know is not right, but I know it's the way I look at things? How do I let go of that thought that I want to let go of? He says, well, you do it by recognizing that you want to let that way of thinking go so that you can make room for something you can really see, something you can really understand, and something that you really love. So what do you want to do? You want to say, I want to make room for what I can really see, really understand, and really love. I want to make room for what I can really love. I want to make room for what I can really love. I want to make room for who I can really love. I want to make room for who I can really love. I want to make room for what I can really see, what I can really love, and what I can really understand. You're trying to make room for what you can really see, what you can really understand, and what you can really love. Why are you doing this? You're doing this because you want to stop projecting your own errors out in front of you, going through pain all the time. So what you want to do is make room for the part of you that can really see what's going on, really understand what's going on, and most of all, really love what's going on. So we are going to make room for love. We have to make room for love. We have to make room for love. We have to make room for love. And the way you make room for love is to tell yourself, I do not understand anything I see. I do not understand this situation. I do not understand this situation I see. I do not understand this relationship. I do not understand. This is for people who know they have something that they want to see differently. That's what I'm doing this for. I'm doing this for those of us who know they're feeling less than peace in some areas in their life. And they're tired of it, and they're tired of the conflict, and they're tired of the depression, and they're tired of the ups and downs. They're tired of the craziness. And so they want to admit it and let it go. You're the one that I'm talking to especially. Tell yourself right now, I don't understand because I'm seeing this incorrectly. I don't understand this situation because I'm seeing it incorrectly. You don't understand this relationship because you're seeing it incorrectly. So what are you seeing? You're seeing your own thoughts. You're seeing your own thoughts in your partner. You're seeing your own thoughts in your mate. You're seeing your own thoughts in your relatives. You're seeing your own thoughts. You're only seeing your own thoughts. The projection of your errors of thought. That's what you're seeing if you're seeing anything other than love. If you're seeing anything other than peace. If you're feeling anything other than peace, you're feeling your own mistaken thinking. So what do? He says, don't understand it. There's no sense in trying to understand it. There's no sense in trying to understand them. There is no sense in you trying to understand them. You're the one with the erroneous thinking. So it's not your understanding that you want to go to. You don't want to go to your understanding. It's your understanding that got you in the situation you're in. So it's not to your wisdom that you want to go. You want to go to a wisdom that tells you how to look at the situation in the situation you're in right now. So stop trying to understand them. And then it says, so how do you stop trying to understand? How do you stop focusing on your old way of thinking? How you do that is you make room for what can be seen, can be understood, and can be loved. You tell yourself, okay, I'm in this situation. I'm going to tell yourself, I can exchange, like when you go to a store, you take something back. You can exchange what you are seeing. Now, you can exchange what you're seeing in your spiritual life now. You can exchange what you're seeing in your finances now. You can exchange what you're seeing. You can exchange what you're seeing now. You can exchange what you're seeing now. So how do you exchange your fear for love? How do you exchange any perceptions of lack for abundance? How do you exchange any perception of loneliness for joining? How do you exchange what you don't want for what you do want? We're about to be told. How can you exchange what you don't want for what you do want? He says, I can exchange what I see now for this. What is this? What you can see, what you can really understand, and what you can really love. You can change any fear or unhappiness right now that you're going through for something that can really be seen, really be understood, and really be loved. How do you make that exchange? It says by being willing to do it. What?
Pretty simple.
How do you exchange all that conflict you think you're going through for the peace that you'd like to have in your relationship? Be willing to do it. Be willing to do it. You don't have to keep on doing the way you're doing right now. There's nobody making you continue what you're doing the way you're doing it but you. So the Course says, well, how do I exchange the pain and the suffering and the unhappiness that I'm going through because of the incorrect way I'm seeing things? It says, stop trying to understand it, number one. Stop spending all your time trying to understand it. Why? Because you're not seeing anything correctly, so you're going to steer yourself wrong, and what you're telling yourself is not going to be right because you're the one that is upset. So you're the one that's not understanding. You're the one that's not seeing things. That's why you're the last one you need to go to when you're upset, is the part of you that got you upset in the first place. The part of you that got you upset right now it's the part of you that you're going to for guidance. You're trying to go to the same mind that got you in the situation that you're in right now for guidance. So the Course says, so stop trying to understand yourself. Stop trying to understand your crazy self. It says stop trying to understand it. So what do? Spend all your time being willing to let that part go so that you can make room for what you could really love and what you could really see and what you could really have. And this is the thing that's so cool. How can I exchange what I'm going through now for this better state? He goes, well, just be willing to do it. It can't be that easy. Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Readiness is not
Yeah.
history.
And then ask yourself this question. Isn't being willing to let go of all your mistakes, to let yourself have what you can really love and be loved, isn't that a better choice? Isn't the choice for what could really love you and appreciate? Sometimes I'll say in my relationships with people, oops, I don't need to keep investing here because I'm not being recognized. You'll find, until I go, wait a minute, I'm being extraordinarily loving. They don't see it. Not only do they not see me, then they would put all their attention on who is the one that's not giving them the love. This has told me that if I'm feeling like I'm not getting what I deserve, it's because it's an error in my thinking, and that I'm then projecting it and then saying it's somebody else's fault. So a projected error, that's your error. This is how you can tell when you're looking at something that you do. You'll say it's in the other person. So if I say you're selfish, I'm projecting my own selfishness onto you. So I'm really looking at the projection of my own error of thought. So then he says, well, don't try to understand it. Don't spend any time trying to understand that. Don't spend any time trying to understand your fear, your anger, your anxiety. What you want to do is be willing to recognize that what you are looking at are your own projections of error of thought, and what you focus on is, I want to make room for what I want. I want to make room for my love. I want to make room for love. I want to make room for love. I want to make room for love. I want to make love for something I really can love. I want to make room for something I really can love. I want to make room for someone I really can love. I want to make room for someone I really can love. I want to make room for someone I really can love. I want to make room for what can really be seen. I want to make room for what I can really finally understand. I want to make room for who I can finally understand. I want to make room for who I can love. I want to make room for love. I want to make room for love. I want to make room for love more than I want to be right about my wrong thinking, because I know it's wrong thinking because I feel bad. And all I have to do is to be willing to do it. That's so deep. That's so deep. All I have to do. I would like to say before the group and everyone online, I am willing. I'm willing to do it. I am willing to exchange all of my crazy, crappy thinking for some thinking that will give me what I could really love, I could really see, and I could really understand. I am willing to make that exchange. So I'm not going to spend the rest of no more time, less time as I can possibly spend in trying to understand my ego. What is my ego? The projection of my own fears, my own errors of thinking. My ego is the idea that I'm separate. My ego is the idea I'm separate from y'all. The ego is my idea that I'm separate from y'all. Because I swear it looks like I am separate from you all. And I swear it feels like I'm separate from you all. It feels like you are different people from me, and that I'm telling myself I'm one with you, but I really don't believe I'm one with you at all. I feel like I go through stuff that you don't feel I have any awareness, and I know you go through stuff that it seems like I'm not there for you. Or, you see what I'm saying? If I be honest with myself, I have to immediately say, I think I'm separate from everybody. And that's not a sin. That's not something I need to feel shame about. Now I understand, like he says, now I understand why I don't understand anybody. Because I'm looking at everybody as if they're separate from me. As long as I think you are different from me, separate from me, and apart from me, I am going to say, I don't understand who you are. And I don't. Why? Because I think I'm separate from her. Even though we all want the same thing. Isn't that wild? Yeah. We all want the same thing. We want to be happy. Woo! That was I do not understand anything I see.
Yeah.
Wow. What sentence in that paragraph was the most striking to you? Anybody?
The one about making room, I think is very powerful for me.
Making room.
Making room by recognizing that I don't understand if I'm upset in any way. I don't understand my own thoughts, so I want to not spend time on those. I want to make room for that which I love, understand differently. Okay,
I love it. Okay, so you know what would make our relationship real and holy? What would make my relationship with you real and holy would be we were together trying to help each other remember that.
Right.
That's all a holy relationship is. It's me and you being in a relationship where we're reminding each other of the truth, where we're reminding each other that we're innocent, where we're reminding each other that even when you feel guilty, you still deserve love. A holy relationship is a relationship with anybody that's always supporting you, loving yourself, and feeling good about yourself all the time. A holy relationship is a relationship where somebody's going to say to you, don't, if you're open to it, don't spend your time, trying to understand. Let's not spend our time trying to understand the craziness. Let's just make room for the love and the sanity that we want. And so we want to make an exchange. And all we have to remember is that the only thing we need to make that exchange where we have the love and we have the peace is we have to develop our willingness to do it. So every time we come together, to me, it's another opportunity to strengthen that muscle that says, I'm willing to do what's necessary in order for me to have real happiness. I'm willing to do what's necessary for me to have real joy. Every time we come together, it makes that muscle a little bit stronger, because in the end, that's what Spirit just said to us. Well, the only thing you need to do in order to have what you can really see, really understand, and really love is a willingness to exchange your erroneous way of looking at things for this way of looking at things. So I want you to let this way of looking at things go. Let go of the idea that you don't deserve love. And by all means, do not form a relationship with somebody who's telling you for any reason you don't deserve love. Because that's the error. That's what you're seeing. You're seeing how you don't deserve love because you believe you don't. So you create situations and circumstances that prove to you that you don't deserve love. So you get the job you hate and you get the mate you hate, and you don't realize, well, you're just trying to prove to yourself you are as pathetic as you think you are.
Yep.
That's what you're doing. You're trying to prove to yourself that you don't deserve love by surrounding yourself with situations that make you feel unloved because you get it. But guess what? That's a mistake. That's an error in your thinking. And so he's just telling, that's why you don't understand. That's why you don't understand your financial situation. You don't understand your financial situation because you're seeing all your financial errors. So stop trying to understand your financial errors and say, I'm willing to let my financial errors go, and I'm willing to make room for my abundance. See, you should always be able to apply the truth to any situation. That's why you hear me doing that all the time. I want you to know there's no situation that the truth doesn't apply to. So I'll say it applies to your spirituality and your awakening, but I'll just as quickly say it applies to your finances and your bills. Because universal laws apply to everything, so you can apply the same rules to everything and get out of these situations faster.
It doesn't really say it, but for me, this is like a process for forgiveness.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It is a process for forgiveness. That is totally First of all, if I got a grievance, that's a projection of my own erroneous thinking. See, that's was the hard part for me, was to admit that I was wrong in the first place. Once I was able to admit that my perception could be incorrect, then all the rest of the stuff seemed easier, not harder. The hardest part was me wanting to get out of my position, me wanting to let my grievance go. That was the biggest block. But once you're willing to go, I'm looking at the projection of my own errors of thinking. I'm not going to try to understand that. I'm going to let it go. And what I'm really going to do then is make room for the thing that I really want, that I really love. And all I have to do is be willing to do it. You just have to be willing to do it. And if you think you're willing to do it, but you haven't gotten the result, just know that that's a projection of your own error. Don't try to understand it. Don't get caught up in it. Just make room for the truth. In other words, focus on the thing that's going to move you toward what you can really see, what you can really understand, and what you can really love. Did anybody else have a sentence in that paragraph that stood out for them?
It wasn't in here, but what you said when you said you go to the part of you that's seeing it incorrectly
Mhm.
for guidance.
Yeah. We do it all the time because the Course in Miracles says we've been taught that the definition of an adult is someone who is autonomous and self-sufficient and can do everything on their own. So you're not really considered an adult until you can take care of yourself all by yourself, right? And the Course in Miracles is saying, well, I don't know how to break that to you, but that's the cause of all your problems and why you feel like there's such a load on you and you have to do everything because you think you have to do it all yourself, that you need to be autonomous and self. That's what you've been taught. But he said, but when you do that, you don't realize that keeps you from having the support that you want. Because you're saying, I want to do it alone. And the universe always says yes. The universe always says yes. Oh, okay, I want to do it all by myself. Okay, it'll look like you're doing it all by yourself. What does it look like when it looks like you're doing it all by yourself?
Hurts.
It will, what?
Hurts.
It hurts, and it looks like there's no one helping you. It looks like you're trying to do it. You're in a life that looks like everything is up to you to do by yourself. Well, that would be the reflection of the belief that I have to do it alone. And I'm the one that needs to take care of everything. So don't be upset if it looks like you got to take care of everything when you believe you have to take care of everything. And you tell yourself you got to take care of everything. So don't try to analyze that. Don't you try to analyze that. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Let go of thinking you need to understand everything. Let it go. Let go of thinking you need to understand them. Let it go. Let go of thinking you need to understand it. What do you want to do? I want to make room for what I really want, which is something I can really see, something I can really understand, and something I can really love. See, I want to know what it feels like to love without some level of fear in it. I've never experienced that. I've never met anyone that loved me unconditionally. Doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. It's just that I had not seen people who could love unconditionally because I was seeing my own inability to love unconditionally. So I was looking at my own errors, like you said, your own errors of thought. Just because you feel like you've never been loved unconditionally no matter what, does not mean that you cannot be loved unconditionally no matter what. You know you're loved unconditionally because you're being loved right now, even when you're having errors of thought. We're making mistakes, we're seeing things wrong, we're not always kind, nice, good, loving as we think we should be, but we're still being helped, we're still getting information, we're still having something tell us that we are lovable and we deserve to be loved. So what do I need to do? I need to make room for love. How do I make room for love? By letting go any thoughts that I have about myself that are not loving. By letting go, by letting it go. Because I guarantee you, if you start to radiate love, people who don't know how to love, they are repelled away from you.
Right.
You don't have to get rid of nobody. I guarantee you, if you become more loving than that person and they're not ready for that level of love, it's going to trigger their fear, and then they're going to go. So when the Course says let it go, it's not talking about anything other than it's already going, let it go. It's already going, let it go. It's not saying let it go. It's like, no, I'll say it again. As you become more loving and you start to love yourself more, you start to go for what can really be seen, really be loved, and really be understood. People who are not ready yet to experience that level of love will move away from you. And if it's their idea, then they're not going to be a problem. That's not going to be a stalker. A stalker is not somebody that voluntarily leaves you. A stalker is not somebody that's voluntarily going, you know what? I'm not best for you right now. You're not best for me right now. So I'm going to go. If you let them go, then you're simultaneously making room for the love that you really want, the happiness that you really want. You're actually making room for what you want when you let what's trying to go anyway go. You know it doesn't want to be there because it's not giving you joy, or they are not giving you joy, or it's not giving you joy. I look forward to giving a love that doesn't demand anything of anybody. That's what I work on all the time. When I say to anybody I love you, you could just say, I'm saying I free you. That's what I love you mean. That means I free you. So what's the easiest way to be with everybody and not clash and not conflict? Let everybody be who they are doing what they want to do. Then there's nobody you trying to control, so nothing gets out of hand. So then you can love everybody because you're not asking them to be anything other than who they really are. You're not making any scripts. You're not making any demands. And so since you're not making any demands, then they don't feel any kind of limitation or any restriction on themselves because they're being loved by you. And so there's no reason to separate. To me, being in a relationship would be the same as I'm still exactly the way I am right now, except we together. Did you hear what I just said? To me, a real relationship would be I wouldn't have to change who I am in order to be with you or to please you. So it would be me being who I am with someone else being who they are. And neither one of us are trying to limit each other. So we are making room for what could be seen, what could be understood, and what could be loved. Because who's easier to love than somebody that is absolutely accepting you as you are and giving you the freedom to be who you are and helping you remember how beautiful and how valuable you are. That's not hard. Wow. So I want that kind of relationship, and I want those kind of relationships. So that's what I work on doing in my everyday life. Every day I'm trying to figure out a way I can remind a person of how beautiful and innocent they are, and at the same time have what I want without having to get anybody to try to do anything at all for me other than what they want to do. But I still want to have what I want too. So if I'm letting everybody else be, does that mean I need to give up what I want then because it looks like nobody around me is giving it to me? No.
That's a resentment.
Then I resent you all. But I can let you be if I don't feel needy. If there's nothing I'm trying to get from you, then I can let you be. If there's something I'm trying to get from you, I can't let you be because I got to try to turn you into who I think you need to be in order for you to do what I think I need.
Those who see themselves as whole make no demand.
That's right. Anybody that sees themselves as whole make no demands of anyone because you know, first of all, you know spirit is going to take care of that need anyway, no matter what that need is. But it might not come through the person or the situation that you thought it was. It's going to come to you the way that it can get to you. And that's the way you want anything anyway. You want it through who it can come through, and you want it to get to you. That's what the Course is saying. You say you want love, I can get you loved in the next second. But if you say it's got to be love through a certain particular person you choose, now you just threw a big old wrench in the whole deal. Because now you've decided how it should come, and obviously it's an error in your thinking because you're feeling needy in the first place. You don't need a special relationship at all. You don't need a special relationship at all. You don't need a special relationship at all. You do not need a special relationship at all in order to be happy. You don't need a special relationship at all in order to be happy. You don't need a special relationship at all in order to be happy. You can be perfectly whole and perfectly happy without a special relationship. You can be ecstatically whole and ecstatically happy if you do not have a special relationship. But if you choose to have a special relationship, then choose to use your relationship as a way for both of you to remember the truth about each other, about how much you deserve to have what you can really see, and you deserve to have what you can really understand, and you deserve to have what you can really love and what really loves you. This person is your remembering partner. Now, just because y'all can do all this other stuff together, that's great. But the truth is, you always want to be in intimate friendships or intimate relationships with people who you feel like you are remembering the truth together, that you're remembering how valuable you are together, that you're reminding each other of how valuable you are when we're together. So if you see your relationship for that purpose, then your relationship will turn into a relationship that you can really see the love, where you can really understand the love, and where you can really actually experience what love is. But you got to set the goal for the relationship. So would that mean that I can't use the relationship to attack anymore? Yeah, because I have to let that go. Remember, he says the thing that's making your perception incorrect, which is your desire to attack, you got to let that go, but stop trying to understand your attack. Stop trying to understand why you attack. Stop trying to understand it and start making room for what you really want. And then how do you allow that to come to you? By saying, I'm willing to do it. I'm willing to make the exchange. God, universe, spirit, all that is, I am willing to exchange my misperceptions, the errors of my perceptions, my projections. I am willing to exchange that for what I can really love and for what really loves me. I want to exchange my fears, my insecurities, my doubts, my confusion for what loves and what only loves, something I can really see, something that I can really feel like I understand, and something that I really feel like I can love without fear. I do not understand anything I see. I'm going to stop there. And I'm going to listen to this over and over and over and over again. As I always tell people, at least give it at least 4 times. Because every time you hear it, you will find yourself moving toward what you can really see, really understand, and really love. So I like to be in relationships where I'm trying to help a person remember their value. Could you imagine what your personal world would look like if that was the way you were thinking? That what you walked around is looking for an opportunity to help someone remember the truth about how beautiful and how cool they are. So you're listening and you're watching them, not so you can criticize or judge like you used to do in your era of thinking. You're sitting up there going, now what can they say that's really cool that I can agree with? How can I slip in this compliment in such a way that they don't think it's insincere, or they just feel like you don't really mean it? That's the way my mind is working now. It's like, okay, how can I remind you that you're a treasure? Why? Because you're me. You are me. You may be pretending you're not me. We can sit up here today and we can pretend we're not. That's okay. I don't have a problem with that. What's important is for me to remember that it's not true. Even if we all acted out beautifully, even though we all act like we're totally separate, fine. As long as we want to help each other remember on the other side of this appearance of separation, we are one. We are the one self. One self. That's what the Course calls it. One self. We're one self. My goodness. Oh. See, you all are easy. You are easy.
Thank
If you want to share, I'm gonna pass this around. You can. I love you if you do. If you don't, I love you anyway. I am sustained by the love of God, and you are too. If online you want to make a financial expression of appreciation, you can use Venmo, the Cash App, PayPal, Zelle, or Square. You just need my email address, Earl Purdy at earlpurdy.com. Earl Purdy at earlpurdy.com. Go to my website, www.earlpurdy.com, and it will explain everything about my clarity sessions and my astrological and numerological sessions. Also, you can self-book an appointment with me from my website. All my classes on YouTube and also on Facebook. So let's take a breath. We'll wrap this up. The Course in Miracles lesson, I'm not a victim of the world I see. I'm not a victim of the world I see. What? I'm not a victim of the world I see. I'm not a victim now of the world I see. That is wow. That was great. That was a projection of our thought, right? I really want to see you. 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 I want to see you beyond my projections on you. I don't want to see anything but who you are right now. How can I tell when I'm not seeing you correctly?
Feel bad.
I feel bad. I feel some form of anger or lack of peace. What do I need to do with that? I need to let it go.
Make room.
I need to make room. Letting it go is making room, especially if you're letting go of what's already gone. See, that's why we're guaranteed to be successful. When people tell me they're trying to let go of the past, I feel like I've already succeeded, because there's no way you can't let go and won't let go of what's already gone. It's already gone. That relationship is already gone. That circumstance is already, that's why you call it in the past. It was what I was dealing with in the past, or who I was dealing with in the past. Anybody that you're dealing with now would be someone you would know exactly how to deal with them. And what you would be doing is want to help them remember their value. You would be wanting them to remember that they deserve what they can really see, and they deserve what they can really understand, and they deserve what they can really love. And that's what I want for you. That's what I want to do with you. So I'm going through that stage in spirit where you say stuff with a great deal of sincerity, but sometimes there's no response. But you got to still keep wanting no matter what. Because if you give a gift to somebody, it's not a gift if I'm saying how you should respond to it. This wouldn't be a gift. if I had to say how you needed to respond, or anybody needed to respond. So I'm going to keep reminding you that you're priceless, and that you're important, and that you're a treasure, no matter what.